Hi, speaking to you from a practice space at the downtown Seattle Public Library. Today I want to give you an assignment. To complete this project, you don't actually need to write the story, and that's because the preliminary work that goes into writing a story can be so important that it's good practice, it's good habit forming to make it your goal, complete a project like this, the preliminary work. So what I want you to do is come up with, I want your main character to lose the most important, valuable thing in their life and what happens to them afterwards. That is the story idea. For this goal you can make for yourself, you don't actually need to write the story. You just need to come up with the great idea. Start trying to think, what is that most valuable thing? And try to make it something really that the reader will find surprising. There are a lot of things that are, for some people it's their job, for some people it's their marriage, for some people it's their house, for some people it's the place where they live and the people they know. And there's good reason for all of these things being considered the most valuable to an individual. But a part of writing stories is about surprising people, about returning to people that sense of wonder and that state of mind that comes with it. And for this reason, we look for the unusual. We look for the unexpected. It will help your reader step out of themselves, step out of ordinary life. So for this, the real focus of completing this goal, it isn't so much about character development. That what you want to focus on is, what is that thing? What is that most valuable thing that if they lose, it could have devastating, catastrophic effects on their life. Come up with 3 really surprising, and it has to, and show this to people so that, it's one thing to sit there alone at your desk and think something is surprising, but you'll know when you share it with friends and family, their reaction to the idea of that valuable thing that could be lost for a story premise. Will they find it surprising? Will they find it thought-provoking? And you don't need to complete this exercise in a short period of time. You could have it on the table for half a year. And when you get a new idea, write it down and get in the habit of not feeling like you have to immediately go to write a story. Don't take it in that direction yet. Hold yourself back, spend more time with this preliminary work and see if you can come up with more great story ideas, holding yourself at the preliminary stage. I want to introduce you to the idea of what is fundamental. I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about philosophy 101. What is fundamental to something? That is what it is. What is its essence that makes it what it is? If you think about what is fundamental to a car, well, it has wheels, it has an engine, it has a casing, people can get inside of it, it is drivable. These are things that are fundamental to a car, and cars come in all shapes and sizes, and they've changed throughout the decades, and and sometimes they change on nearly a fundamental level. That is, instead of a gasoline run engine, it's a steam run engine, or it's an electric run engine, or a hybrid. So sometimes the changes are superficial, that is surface level, that is it might have a different paint color. Differences could be more on what you would think of as a fundamental level. some cars might have 6 wheels instead of 4 and still barely fit into what people would call a car. Practicing putting on that lens of what is fundamental can be so helpful to story writing. When we look at a story as a power dynamic, we look at it like a formula. So the exercise that I gave you, it has a very basic formula. And when we're looking at that formula, we're looking at what is fundamental to that story. Again, that means that we're not getting too much into character development. We're not getting too much into location. This is very much looking at the essence of that story. And to be able to work on a story on the fundamental level is one of the greatest ways to make sure that story has a real kick to it. So that no matter how you personalize it and give it personality and flavor and character, at the root of it is still you've spent time working on the core aspect of the story. That is what is fundamental to that story being what it is. So let's look at it when I talk about power formulas. The power formula is that you have the protagonist. Then you have that which is most important to the protagonist. And if they lose it, it's going to have some drastic effect on the character. This is almost like a math formula. What we're looking at here is the nature of what makes something important to someone. If someone is way out in the middle of the sea in a little boat, that little boat is what is most valuable to that person. And you can imagine how the circumstances that individual is in will change if they no longer have that boat. So we're looking at a power dynamic. We're appreciating that how secure someone is in their life, how well off they are, how good their life is going, is not just dependent on themselves, but usually they create some relationship with most often a multitude of things, but for the purpose of this project, we're going to focus on one main thing that if they lose it, in a sense, it changes them so much that they lose their previous identity. They can no longer be who they were. The more that you stay at this primal stage, at this fundamental stage, at this elemental stage, you're in the eye of the cornucopia. You're in the place where great ideas come from. Contemplate the relationships we have with those things that we depend on, that we use to make our lives better. And you can contemplate the way our identities are shaped by these needed objects. I kept this short because I'm really not used to making these videos in a practice room at the public library. I would like to draw a little bit of attention to how wonderful it is that the apartment I moved into, they're building a high-rise right next to it, and it's very noisy. I can schedule a practice room in the public library and make these videos for you. If this gave you any ideas you think others who watch the video can, that it will be a help to them to hear your idea, please leave it in the comment. If you like my videos and want to get me back, please leave a comment, like button, subscribe, tell another writer, artist, friend, and what was the other one? And you can tweet it, you can Google plus this video. I would greatly appreciate that. Please take the time to go check out my bizarre alternate reality fiction put in illustrated put in video form at solomation.com. Project is my thing. It is, if I'm out in the sea, that is my boat, is at solomation.com. I hope your writing goes great. I love the idea that anyone who watches one of my videos is also one of the people who creates the new great story that has everyone around the world inspired. So enjoy your creative zones and have a good day.